So let's see who goes first. And Jen will go first with her Continental Army. So let's see where she wants to go. Okay, she has 3 movement cards. She has 1 for 2 armies moving 1 space, 1 for 3 armies moving 1, and then 1 warship where she can move 2 armies in the 2 areas. Okay, so we'll reinforce first. And let's see, she has 7 total armies with the 3 fled. Where does she want to go? As it stands, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with South Carolina and Georgia. 7 colonies. Jen only has 4. So she's gonna play this warship. Okay, and here is her plan. Her plan is to put most of her reinforcements here. She's gonna reinforce Connecticut there. Okay, he's getting a little thin. And then, so we'll put that there. We'll put 2 armies there. 1, 2. Okay. The rest of them, she's going to go into Boston. And you know what? She'll go into Plymouth too. Okay. So, or you know what? She's not going to go into Plymouth. She'll put them all in Boston. Okay, so now she's going to move 2 armies, you know, in the territory adjacent to water. And they could go into 2 different territories. So, her 1 army, they're all going to come out of Boston. Her 1 army will be 4, 3, 4 and 3. Okay. The first army. No, it's not going to be 4 and 3. The first army is going to be 3, and that one will go right here in the Maryland. Okay. Her second army is going to go into Dover. Okay. And that's her plan. She wants to gain control of Maryland and Dover. Alright, so we'll start off with Maryland. I have one of my my loyalist. He's going to flee. He sees it a lost cause. So he's going to flee into Dover. Jen now gains control of Maryland. Okay, so she has Maryland. Okay, next she's going to go into Delaware. Alright, so I have loyalists, nothing but loyalists. And I get 2 hits and a flee. So, let's see, Jen will choose. She'll go with two of these guys, yeah. Okay, and one of my guys fled. Alright, so Jen will go into, or she'll attack me now. Oh, that sucked. One of her dudes fled. And she's got a command decision. She wants to stay there and chip away at them. I want to roll 3 dice. It's a 1 in 3 chance that she's going to hit me. And you know what else? She'll stay. Okay. Goes back to me. And I hit 1. And then 1 fled. And I got a command decision. I want to try and hold out. Okay, over to Jen for the final command decision. Yeah, the final one. You know what? She'll back out into Maryland. Okay. Didn't go exactly like she had hoped, but she did make some leadway. Okay, so now she draws back up. She gets Benjamin Franklin. So she could bring in her French allies now. She could add 4 French into Savannah, Georgia, even if occupied by enemy. Okay, by the enemy, and is played during the reinforcement phase. Benjamin Franklin was the ambassador to France, who secured a military alliance in 1778. He was also one of the founding fathers of the United States. He helped draft the Declaration of Independence. Okay, so that's the end of Jen's Continental Army. Let's move on to the next guy. It is my loyalist. So, let's see, I have 4 reinforcements. And then I have 3 fled armies. Total of 7. Let's see what cards I have. If I remember right, I had... Yes, I do. I'm going to play the truce. I'm going to end the game. Okay, so that's all... They're all movement cards. So, what I want to do here is... I can move 4 armies, 1 territory. Let's see. Alright, I'm going to place... I'm going to play this truce card. That's okay. Alright, I'm going to put it down here. Normally I wouldn't do this, until I do the actual movement phase, but I'm going to move 4, 1. So, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send a bunch into Dover. I'm actually going to send 4, because they're going to most likely run away. Okay, and then... see, right now I have 6 colonies, Jen has 5. So I want to take Maryland away from her. Hopefully I can hold it. And then... Alright, you know what? I'm going to reinforce Georgia down here. Okay. Okay, so... I'm going to send 2 to Augustus. 1 to Charlestown. Okay, for the first army movement, I'm going to move up here into northern Georgia. Second movement, I'm going to go right over here. Okay. And, 1 in 3 chance they're going to run, so I'm debating. Yeah, I'll go right there. Third army. I'm going to move these guys in Halifax, which I forgot about. Okay. So they're going to go here. Fourth army. I'm going to take my Native Americans here, and we're going to fight in there. Okay. So now we go into the battle. I'm going to start off here. So right away, the Native Americans flee. They run away. 2 from me, 2 from Jen. Okay. Now if there was an odd number, if either force had 1 more than the other, then equal amounts of Native Americans would run, and the other one would stay. So Jen will roll for the defense. She gets a hit, and I'll go with my loyalist. I will roll for the attack. I got a command decision. That didn't work out for me. Jen will go back, and she fled. So it kind of worked out. Alright. So now all I need to do is take control of that, and I get another colony. Go back up here in the Baltimore. Jen will roll 1 and 1 for the defense. So 1 guy fled from her Continental Army. The other one, she's going to make a command decision. No, she's not. She's going to fight it out. Okay, so now it goes back to me. Oh, just barely. Okay, so I got, well, I got control of the territory. I got a fled unit, and then I got a command decision. And no, I'm gonna hold off there. All right. So that is the end of my guy's turn. I draw movement, 2 armies, up to 3 territories. As you can see, both of my truce cards are out, so at the end of the round, the game's going to end, and then we're going to see who won with the most controlled territories. And Jen loses control of Maryland. Okay, so now the next faction will go. Let's see, it's Jen and her Patriots. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now let's see here. Jen has 60 total units with the 2 fled. She got this Son of Liberty. She can move up to twice the amount of armies, other than boat, which would have helped her. She could have used this boat army, went down there, and tried to help the south out. Alright, so what she's going to do is she's going to play 2 armies, 3 movements, but she's going to play 4 armies because of the Sons of Liberty. Okay, so she can move 4 armies up to 3 movements. Okay, and right now she's going to place 6 of her armies. So, where's she going to place them? Let's see. Again, she's stuck right in here. So, what she's going to do, Portsmouth, she's going to put 2 there. Boston is not going to have any. She's going to put the rest here in Hartford. Okay, and now, like I said, she's going to play the Sons of Liberty and that 2 armies, 3 movements, so she can move 4 armies up to 3 movements. First army, she's going to take back New York. Okay, and so that's 1. Second army, she's going to come down into New York City. You know what? She's not going to do that. She's not going to go to New York City. All she needs to do... Well, no, she will. Alright. Third army, she's going to come from Boston. Or, I'm sorry, Rhode Island. Okay. So that should give her enough to defeat it and defend. Fourth army. We're going to go up here to Maine. And she's going to go in there. Okay. So, let's start off with Maine. I will defend. I got a hit. Jen will lose 1 of her Patriots. And Jen will attack. And she has gained control of Maine. 1 guy fled. And there's the marker. Okay. Let's do New York first. I will defend first. I got a hit. Jen will lose the Patriots. Okay, now Jen will attack. And she got it. And then she has a command decision to make. She's not going to move them. But I now lost control of New York. I'm going to go up here to the other side of New York there. Okay, and I will defend. Okay, let's see. Okay, I got 1 hit. So Jen will lose a Continental Army unit. And then I have a command decision for 1 regular and 1 loyalist. I'm going to stay. I'm going to chip away at her. Okay, so Jen's going to go on the attack. And she has 3 hits. She just destroyed my army. Alright. Okay, so that's the end of Jen's turn for the game. Pretty much. So let's see, where are we at here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for Jen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for me. So I won. All I gotta do, you know, is just play this one out. Alright, so let's see here. I'll go up. There's really no sense. Well, we can see what she would have drawn, because the cards are pretty cool. Okay, so she would have drawn Paul Revere. It's a plane reinforcement phase. Add 2 Patriots to any one city area occupied by your side and or its allied units. Paul Revere was the prominent patriot most famous for alerting colonial militia of the approaching British forces before the Battle of Lexington and Concord. Okay, and then the next one she would have drawn was 3 units, 3 armies, 2 movements. Goes to me. I will have 4 units here to reinforce, and you know, let's see, what am I going to do here? I could, you know, warship, blah blah blah. I'll go with the 2 movement, you know. All right, so you know what? I'll go up to Montreal here. Okay, all 4 in Montreal. Okay, and then for the movement, I'll go 1, 2 into New Hampshire. Or, you know, I could actually go into Maine, take out Maine. Oh no, I'll go into New Hampshire. Okay, and then over here in Nova Scotia, I'll go 1, 2. Okay, so here we go. Last battle of the game. Jen will defend with we'll do New Hampshire first. Jen will defend with 1 Patriot, 2 regulars, and they all fled, so she just lost control of Maine. Or, I'm sorry, New Hampshire. Bloodless battle. I scared them so much they ran. Okay, and then we'll go over here to Maine, and Jen will roll with 101. She got a hit. I'll choose my loyalist, and her Continental Army fled. And now I will attack with 2 regular and 1 of my loyalist, and that's the game, folks. Jen just lost control of Maine, so now that is the end of the round. Being that it is the end of the round, end of round 4 rather, we will check for the end of the game conditions, which are the truce cards. Both of my factions have their truce card out. None of Jen's do. So now we count up how many, who has the most control of how many colonies. You know, so now we count up who has the most colonies in their control. So I have Nova Scotia and Quebec is 2. Georgia and South Carolina is 3 and 4. Dover and New Jersey is 5 and 6. I have 6. Jen has Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and Newport, or Connecticut. She has 3. So there you go, folks. I won the game. 6 colonies to 3 in the 4th round. So that was 1775 Rebellion. Make some pretty cool, pretty interesting decisions in this game. But we'll get into that in my final thoughts. So stay tuned for them. Get gaming. Have fun. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Okay, folks, final thoughts time for 1775 Rebellion. First, I like the cover. It reminds me of one of those paintings depicting the Revolutionary War. You know, you got the guys hiding behind the trees. You know, the American rebels hiding behind the trees, ready to shoot the redcoats. Kind of reminds me of one of them paintings you see in a museum or something. This game is it's a good game, and especially I think it's a better gateway game than Memoir 44. Memoir 44, there's line of sight, and there's a few things that are a little, you know, a novice player getting into the hobby, you just may not grasp right away. You know, I haven't played many war games. I played Risk, and I played Memoir 44, and Stratego, and Axis and Allies. But I think this is a great entry level. You know, the dice work really well. I think how they you know, on the Patriots and the Loyalists, there's a better chance. You know, it's an equal chance of hitting, fleeing, or making a command decision. You know, and then on the Loyalist or the Continental Army, you got a 50-50 chance. And then, you know, anybody could ally with the Native Americans, but you know, as soon as you leave, they're neutral. You know, they're just tolerating you basically. You know, and each side has an ally, whether the Hessians or the French. And the dice scale well with that. You know, I think that's really cool. The gameplay itself is very, very smooth. I heard they fixed some issues with 1812 in this game. One of them being the Native Americans. Instead of having that as a fifth player, they would they're just a neutral ally now. And it scales well between 2 and 4 and even 3 players. You know, if you're playing with 3 players, one player would play both factions of one side, and the other 2 players would play one faction of the opposing army. And then you get that communication when you got 3 and 4 players. You know, even though you're going for the same goal, you maybe want to do something different. You know, and you're talking with your partner to communicate that through the cards that each faction has. You know, and it's not difficult. You play a card, you have to play a movement card, and then you can play any of these event cards. There's only I think 4 event cards. You know, so the map's mostly clear. You know, there's a little bit of discrepancy with with a few of the colonies, how many territories there are in it, stuff like that. You know, Virginia with the peninsula, stuff like that. The map is huge. I had the overview camera up as far as I could get it on that little tower thing that I hang the lights in the other camera on, and the map's got to be at least 3 foot. It's huge. And it's a little weird that you're looking at, you're looking at colonies that you're familiar with for the most part. I mean, there's some discrepancies with Maine and Quebec, Maine in it, but you're looking at these colonies on an angle, and it's kind of weird, but you get used to it pretty quickly. But like I said, the gameplay's smooth. It's fairly quick. This run through was a little long. I think it was close to 2 hours. But I think if you're playing with 3 or 4 players and you're talking back and forth with your partners, it'll probably run about that long, But yeah, I like it. It's a good game. Now Jen's played it a couple times. We played the introduction game. And that's another thing, you got different scenarios. You got the regular scenario, like we seen today, to play it through, and then you got one specifically for 2 players, the Quebec scenario. So you can grow with it a little bit. you know, and the cards. There's more cards that you can play, different cards, I should say, that you can play with the different scenarios. And I like that each card has each of those event cards has a little bit of the history behind the event on it, you know, and the manual itself has a good bit of historical background in the back of it. So yeah, all in all, I think it's a real good entry level game to wargaming, and I'm glad I picked it up. You know, glad Joel and them guys recommended it to me. So I know wargaming's not for everybody. I know it's a decreasing niche in the community, you know, in the hobby community. But with games like this, you know, I could see more people getting into it. So that's my thoughts on 1775 Rebellion. If you think it's for you, pick it up. You know, enjoy it. Try it out at a gaming club or something. So that's it for now. Get gaming, have fun, and I'll see you next time.